Hello, welcome back. How have you been? You might have noticed this channel's had a bit of a redesign, but don't worry, I've just given it the landlord special. Same old shite with a fresh coat paint on top. So what am I making today? I'm making this turtle thing. I was in the pub a few years ago, and someone brought in this massive bulldog. I'm only human, I petted the bulldog, it was a lovely thing. But he was just born to die. He was so inbred it looked like a turtle. And then that kicked off this idea, really. It got me thinking about, what if a turtle could run? And if they make good pets? I had an image in my head that you'd be sitting at home when you'd hear that classic ticky 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 tick noise that a dog makes when he's walking on a hardwood floor. And normally I'd hate that noise. But I just thought it'd be cool if, you're expecting a dog to pop his head around the corner. And it's just a big toidle. I said the word toidle there in a cute voice, but that doesn't mean I want cute things in the comment like 10 out of 10 good boy, or what a cute little bean, or any of that millennial cringe. I should point out that I am a millennial, but I still don't like them. But I don't like Gen Z either, or Gen Alpha, or Gen Infant, or Boomers. I dislike everyone equally, which I think means I don't have to do jury duty. Anyway, I got a cool new little intro coming up in a second. I think it's more in keeping with the channel's theme. And if you don't like change, well, tough shit. This isn't your granddad's YouTube channel, but a depressed man who sits at home making weird alien creatures so he doesn't have to be left alone with his thoughts. Anyway, here it is. Normally at this point in the video I'd be doing a digital sculpture, but I sculpted this guy a few years ago, so this is a bit of a here's what I made earlier situation. And I'd normally paint the model before I make the base, but we're going to mix it up a little bit today, and I'm going to make the base first. Once that joke was over, I textured the surface with a riffler, which is what I'm using here. Cards on the table, this was a waste of time. Then I mixed up a rank slurry of aqua, pava, and some of this ground cover. Once that was all mushed up, I gave the foam board a liberal coat in. Should have painted the board brown first, but as the French say, cellophane. I picked this stuff up a while ago. I haven't used it yet, so I thought I'd give it a go on this one. It looked just a little bit too smooth for what I needed, so I mixed in some stones and grit. Perfect. And then I just smeared it around the place, only in the places where I wanted to look wet. I still want some of that ground cover shining through. And then I just used a wet brush to sort of feather out the edges. Well, that's the first time I used it, but I think it looks pretty good. This is a root from a weed in my garden. I thought these thin little tendrily bits would scale down really well. FYI, if you need some weeds, I've got thousands of them. My garden looks like the toxic jungle from Valley of the Wind. My cat's out there somewhere. I can hear him crying in the night. Oh well, what a pity, never mind. Now I'm just using a little bit of that mud mixture to glue down these roots. As that mud mixture was drying, it was looking cooler and cooler, but then all of a sudden it just went really dark brown. So now I'm just going over the top with some lighter browns and greens and all sorts of mucky colours. I thought this base was looking a little bit plain, so I decided to add some, roots or a log. To do that, I had to bust out this tired old bottle of super glue. I just can't understand why they make the bottle so tough. You need the grip strength of a veteran gooner just to get some glue out of them. Before I went any further, I just thought I'd check if the beastie actually fit the base properly, and as you can see, it does not. Well, that's okay, we'll just whip out the butt. To make sure this guy fits nice and snugly on the base, I'm just adding little blobs of milliput to each foot. This reminds me of that. You ever heard of that thing where they say if you move house and your cat keeps running back to your old house, you should put butter on their feet and it'll make them not want to go home? Is that just because they can't, because they're sliding around the place? I'm not going to butter a cat's feet every day. I mean, that's expensive. I'd rather just cripple the cat. Anyway, that doesn't really apply to me. My cat's lost in the toxic jungle. Once that milliput starts to firm up a little bit, you can feather out the edges. And now I got perfect little recesses for my guy to lock into. And now I'm just adding more muck to hide all that milliput. I didn't really wait for that to dry before I started slapping on some thin down PVA. And then I just picked out some random green things from my massive collection of green things. All of this stuff is easy to come by. Just go to, Hobbycraft or Games Workshop or any of those places. They've got loads of it knocking about. Or Amazon. Anything really. When I finish making these models, I normally put them in my office. But the lighting isn't as good, and I've noticed they look a lot darker in there. So to combat that, I'm going to go a bit brighter with my paint jobs. So I'm going over this with quite a neon toxic green. I got this little guy from Lidl or Aldi, whichever one's got the magic dream isle in the middle. They're both the same to me. But they came in this set with these cute little terracotta pots, which I'm going to use for something else, I think. They're pretty handy. Off. Well, that was pretty painless. Again, this stuff comes from my box of green. No idea what it is or where it comes from, but I thought it'd look quite good for some swamp reeds. You know, like glissies or something. I can't remember what they're called. But to make them look more like that, I'm going to combine them with some of this pampas grass. Unfortunately, I've lost all the footage of me doing that, so through the magic of editing, ta-da! Moving on. Getting to the fun bit now, which is the water effects. I'm using some frog tape to build a dam up around the side to, hold the resin in. I don't know if you've used this stuff before, but it loves to leak. Like life, it finds a way. So I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to seal every edge with some PVA. This might be overkill, but I didn't want to take any chances. So I added a lot more tape and a lot more glue. Yeah, that's a really important step, so you don't want to miss that. Right, tinfoil, lower the material. You want to mask off a large area? Tinfoil. You want to make an armature? Tinfoil. You want to make a dam so you can do resin effects and swamp diorama that your little turtle creature sits on? You fucking loser. Tinfoil!
Look at all that free detail. I'm using a wash like Lego paints. They make this up.
Et voila. Right onto the resin. I got this stuff off Amazon. It's pretty easy. A little column of A, a little column of B. Give them a mix, and then you add your pigments. I'm using proper resin pigments here instead of something like Vallejo paints. I think the paints normally make things a bit murky, which looks good for deep water, but I'm doing quite shallow water, so I'm using the pigments because they keep the transparency. Once that was all mixed up, I poured it all in. I forgot to film myself pouring it in first time round, so here's a pathetic attempt at a reenactment. I then used a lighter to pop all the little air bubbles, trying to make sure I don't burn all my little roots. Then after 2-ish days, it's time for the grand reveal. Yeah, it's come out pretty good. That little flaky bit at the bottom, that can be just trimmed off. As long as the resin's okay, it's fine. I'm just using a knife to trim off the little lip that comes from the resin pour. I thought the front edge of this water effect would be a little bit clearer, so our old friend Tinfoil has come back for the rescue. I'm just pressing it down into the surface, and it, you can fold it and bend it and push it. It'll take the shape of all the contours, and you don't have to tape anything up. I think it's good stuff. And then I gave it a coat of clear gloss spray paint. I just meant to record my hand waving around the place spraying it, but there's a cool moment where you look carefully and you can see when it actually becomes clear. Tangent, but I put some moss in the resin that I had left in the cup and made myself a cool little paperweight. If you like that sort of thing. And now it's time to glue the top bit of the base to the bottom bit of the base. This is just a bit of MDF that I cut into a circle. I cut loads of them at the same time. And there it is. Just one more step and the base is done. I'm trying to use up all my black 3.0. Look at the state on that. I'll resist the urge to add poop sound effects. This bit's always quite satisfying. Sort of brings everything together. Well, it's about time I showed you the final model in all his turtly glory. So here he is. He's been sitting on my windowsill for about, 2-3 years, I think. I've been waiting until my painting skills were sort of good enough to do it, really. I'm not sure if they are yet, but I'm just going to do it anyway at this point. It was quite cool seeing this thing primed, actually. I had forgotten how much detail I put into it. You couldn't really see with just the print. And now I say this every time, but I'm not the best painter, but I'm getting better. I will say before I carry on painting that this isn't really a tutorial channel. It's just me making weird things. So I can't really tell you how to do things, but I can tell you how I did things. And the main technique I like to use is just really thin down washes. The bulk of this model is just really thin down contrast paints and even more thin down oils. I've really fallen in love with oils lately. Also, I've learned just to have fun with it, really. I'd get quite bogged down at the painting stage. But the more I stopped caring and just having fun, the better it looked. Tell you what, shall I shut up for a little bit and we can just enjoy this nice little painting montage? Maybe I'll speak up if something interesting happens. I am back. I thought I'd mention quickly here all the layering I'm doing. I'll add on a wash, and then I'll stipple on top of it, and then I'll wipe it away, then I'll add another wash, then I'll flick some paint on top of that, then I'll fuck it up, then I'll scream at myself in the mirror for a couple of hours, then I'll come back and put a wash on, wipe it off again. You get the idea. I'm just trying to create depth and texture, really. Detailed models like this sort of lend themselves really well to that. There's loads of little nooks and crannies for all the paint to sink into. And now a little trip to a nail salon to get some gel tips. I don't know if you've ever been to a nail salon, but it's quite a stressful experience. I took my ex a few times, and as soon as she sat down, they were like, "What colour? What colour?" And it's just like, I don't know, man. I came here to relax, not to get yelled at by an Asian man covered in glitter. Anyway, I'm doing the eyes now. I've gotten a lot braver when it comes to eyes. A lot of the creatures in my previous videos had black eyes because I was too cowardly to paint them, to the point where a running theme through my sort of world building project was going to be that everything had black eyes. But I'm no longer frightened of this sort of stuff. I've evolved. I've had therapy. The only cold black eyes I'm going to look at in the future are going to be my own in the mirror. I thought this was going to be a pain, but it went really easily actually. I started with the white eye that you saw I painted gold, and then I went over the centre of that with a sort of light yellowy green, but I made sure not to go all the way to the edges because I wanted to keep sort of a ring of gold around the eye. Then I painted that strange pupil in and gave it a coat of some really thinned down green mixed with gold. I wanted to keep that metallic feel. Once that was done, I gave it a glossy coat of UV resin. And that's the model done. But it's not over. Stay tuned. We've got the glamour shots coming up, but before that, we've got a lore dump. Who doesn't like a lore dump, eh? Probably the best bit. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!
Flat-headed lesser snapper. Lacostraptor planiceps minor, proposed. Classification, Kingdom, Animalia, clade, Tetrapoda. Order, Incerticetus, provisionally placed among reptoid amphibious vertebrates. Genus, Lacostraptor. Species, L. planiceps minor. Description: the flat-headed lesser snapper is a compact, semi-aquatic predator distinguished by its broad, dorsoventrally flattened skull and disproportionately powerful jaw musculature. The head appears almost shovel-like when viewed from above, an adaptation believed to aid in ambush feeding. Its skin is thick, slightly pebbled, and muted green-gray in color, providing excellent camouflage against silt, reeds, and shallow waterbeds. The eyes are small and forward set, suggesting limited reliance on vision in favor of vibration or pressure sensing. Adults typically reach 1.5 meters in length, and 0.8 meters in height, though much of this mass is concentrated in the head and forebody. Behavior: a largely sedentary ambush predator, the species remains motionless for extended periods, partially submerged or buried in soft substrate. When prey approaches, it extends its large textured tongue, as a lure to draw the prey closer to its mouth. It is theorized that the tongue has evolved to resemble a spiral worm, which is common prey for such avian reptoids like the razor heron. Upon striking, the snapper can extend its neck to twice its length. It delivers a rapid lateral strike, producing the characteristic snap from which its common name is derived. Diet appears to consist of small fish, amphibians, aquatic invertebrates, small mammoids, and avian reptoids at the water's edge. Like most life on Tir Estron, snappers are hostile towards humans, but measures can be taken to increase safety. Habitat and range: currently recorded in lowland wetlands, marshes, and slow-moving freshwater systems, particularly in isolated or poorly studied regions. It shows a preference for still or murky water, dense reed beds, soft, silty bottoms. Its distribution is believed to be patchy and highly localized, which may explain its late documentation. Discovery: the species was first documented following a series of indistinct sightings and unusual bite marks on local fish populations. A confirmed specimen was recorded during a wetland biodiversity survey. Closer examination revealed a unique cranial structure and dentition unlike any known regional species, prompting provisional classification as a new genus. Notes: the designation lesser distinguishes it from a suspected, larger relative, Lacustraptor major, reported anecdotally but not yet verified. Brought to you by the Terra Foundation of Exploration and Science. Good luck, Terranaut.